What's going on, y'all? Self-Out Junction. It's your boy Sherm. I'm here with a very special guest today. Today we got Vice Mayor Curtis. How you feeling today, man?
I'm doing all right, man. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity, man. So for those who
sure.
don't know you, which if you live in Newport News, you should. But if they don't know you, who are you and what do you do?
All right, yeah. Curtis Bethany from Newport News. Graduated from Woodside, greatest high school known to man.
Yes, sir. Woodside Wolverines.
There you go. There you go. And I have the pleasure of serving as the vice mayor of Newport News.
Okay, awesome. And we're coming up on 1 year now. So how's that year been so far? I mean, has it been crazy? Has it been a learning curve? Is it something that you kind of just felt natural with? Like, what's it like?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot. I mean, to for this to be my first term and for this to be my first year as an elected official, I mean, huge learning curve. You know, you just like anything, whether it's elected office or a job.
Right.
I think we were unique how we started because unfortunately the shooting that happened at Rich Neck. So that happened literally a week before we swore in. So, but we still had to respond and jump to action. And actually, even just talking about it right now, man, just that seems like that was 3 years ago, and it really I feel like I've been on for so long, but it's really only been a year. And to start the year off like that to now, man, so much has happened. But overall, I feel good about where we are. I feel good about the team that we have. You know, how much of a bond we've been forming together. I think, you know, naturally when you come on to something, you know, you got different personalities that you have to work with.
Right.
And everyone's trying to figure each other out and try to, all right, well, you know, where do you see the city going? Where do you see the city going? I mean, you got 7 different people in there. You could potentially get 7 different answers. And I think we've been trying to hone in on one collective answer and we move together. So yeah, it's been a very good year, very interesting year. Yeah, it's been solid, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it now, from the unfortunate thing that happened at Rich Neck to Woodside winning a state title. Hasn't happened since the basketball coach was there as a student. So it just was it was pretty interesting, man. So that was my freshman year. 05, 06. Yeah.
Dating stuff, man.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on now.
No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. But the point is, man, we needed that win so bad for the community because of everything that was happening uptown, and we were able to capitalize off of that. So shout out to Coach Steph and Woodside Wolverines and the coaching staff and the players, administration, all of it. And then Christopher Newport University went to the championship for the first time ever in basketball. Yes, in basketball. Really? Both men's and women's team went to the championship, which, you know, again, it just speaks to our year. It's been a roller coaster year for Newport News, and our women's team wasn't able to win the championship, but they did clearly win runner-up, so that's still a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely.
The men's team, they won. I had the pleasure of being there to witness the game. Buzzer beater.
Oh, that's always the best.
So here's another thing. So Woodside won by a buzzer beater.
Oh man!
And then CNU men's team, they won by a buzzer beater. So I was like,
was it a 2 or a 3?
2.
2? Okay, gotcha.
Both of them were 2s.
Either way, buzzer beater is always hype.
Yeah. Oh man!
As soon as you see it fall in, crowd goes crazy. Everybody starts rushing the floor. Like it's an experience.
I'm reimagining both instances. In that high school game, man, it was reverse layup. You're right under the goal.
Oh, nice.
Point is, though, like that just really speaks to the year that we had to start off the way that we did, to have those community rallying events happen.
Right.
Was good. And then after seeing you, we went through a transition process with a city manager. So it's my first time ever going through that, in which we ended up hiring an interim. And then as of December, that interim became the full time. So one of the most important decisions any council can make, actually number one probably, is hiring a city manager. I don't know how familiar you are with, like, you got the city council, mayor, we're all a part of a board, and then you hire a city manager who runs like all the day-to-day administration side of local government. And so,
they're like a what's the word I'm looking for? Executive assistant, kind of.
CAO,
Okay.
Chief Administration Officer,
Hmm.
pseudo CEO, because you
Okay.
still need counsel
Right.
in order to make some of those executive decisions. But
Mm. Okay.
that's pretty much what the makeup is for our form of government. When you
Right.
have a council manager form of government versus a strong mayor system, to
Hmm.
where the mayor is top dog and
Okay.
whatever a mayor would say go. Like you see that largely in large cities like
Yeah, I was about to say
Baltimore.
New York, like stuff
Oh,
like
for
that.
sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say I'm assuming like I don't want to say mayoral hierarchy, but like how the mayor is viewed or like what their role is it kind of different city by city, like as far as how they
Yeah.
handle it?
Especially when you like I said, those larger cities, but
Mm-hmm.
in Virginia it's pretty much the same except for Richmond. Richmond is the only locality in the state that has a strong mayor system.
Mm.
Everyone else has a council manager form of government to where the mayor is a member of council.
Got you. Okay, and
Mhm.
is that because like Richmond being the capital, or is that just like a?
It's actually we joke. I'm pretty sure if you asked Governor Wilder,
Mm-hmm.
so he was governor, and then when he no longer was governor, at some point he decided to run for mayor of Richmond. But you know, I, I'm assuming, looking at the makeup of the form of government, he was just like, "Oh, this is dumb. I might as
Mm.
well. I wanted to be strong mayor system so I could, kind of have a little bit more power, have a little bit more
Right.
say." And so they ended up changing it.
Mm.
They
Okay.
it was a lengthy process for sure.
Right.
So you got to get the charter changes. You have to go through the state.
Mm-hmm.
But if anyone can do it, I imagine the former governor who just left, not too
Right.
long ago, could do it.
For sure. Yeah, I was just curious like what judicially went into that, like making that change to make it like a stronger mayor system versus like how you have like a council based mayor
I'm
system.
pretty sure it was led by him.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'd bet good money that it was led by him. He was like,
Fair
"I'm
enough.
not doing this." Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. So in this past year, I mean, you've seen the community rally in tragedy, you've seen the community rally in victory and celebration as far as winning CNU's men's basketball championship, Woodside's high school championship. So what has been your proudest moment as vice mayor throughout the past year?
Proudest moment. I mean, it has to be around rallying around. Has to be around rallying around.
A lot of rounds.
Right, a lot of rallying too. No, but it was to see the community rally together after the tragedy
Okay.
and respond in a matter of we need to all come together, and then we rallied around sports.
Mhm.
Sports is that one thing or that can galvanize all folks.
Yeah.
And so whether it's, we don't have a major sports team, so that's why college championship is important. That's why high school championships are important. And
Right.
literally it was they weren't even maybe a month and a half apart.
Mhm.
And to see all that, to see folks from who no longer live in Newport News, but doesn't matter where they live, they all flew back
Mhm.
because they knew how important this was going to be for the community. And so I think watching the community rally and also seeing my colleagues rally around
Mhm.
the tragedy, like we hadn't been there that long, but to see all of us respond, I mean, that was probably my proudest moment, just to know like, okay, well, it doesn't matter what challenge comes before us. I feel confident with this group of folks
Mhm.
that whatever it is, we will do everything within our power to rectify, come together, and think about solutions.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think that's kind of imperative too,
Yeah.
especially starting off, seeing that you can build with these people, you can rally with these people, you can come together and build solutions with these people that you're just coming into office with and working with.
Yeah.
It's a good test to show like, okay, yeah, this is going to be, I feel like you find out really quick whether or not something's going to be a good
Oh.
or a bad ride, depending on who you're working with within the first like month,
No, that's a good point. I mean, in that when tragedies like that happen, they expose a lot of broken processes. They expose folks who are potentially not in the right spot. And so it makes you question everything. It makes you really deep dive into a lot. And so when that happened, it just forced some tough questions to be asked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
that's valid.
Yeah. And then like really how I always looked at the first year was a foundation year. I didn't really set a time frame on it. Like I didn't say this whole first year is the only year I'm dedicating the foundation year. You kind of want to build the infrastructure around you to make sure you're in the best position possible to serve the citizens. But as it's looking right now, it seems like it could be a 2-year foundation set up because this is so massive, man, what we're doing and what we're tasked with. And then on top of that, we do it part-time on paper.
Gotcha.
On paper, we're part-time. We all have to work regular jobs, but it's full-time work for sure.
Yeah.
And that's what trying to find that balance, because you're so passionate about it. My heart is fully with the city, and I just it comes to me without hesitation, like effortlessly.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about ways that we can improve the city, things that we can do. But again, being in that part-time role on paper, it kind of hinders maximum efficiency is the best way to put it. But nevertheless, we work, we roll, and I'm still excited about what's going on. We got some pretty interesting things coming up.
Okay.
Development wise, and I'm pretty sure we'll get into that a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. And for those who don't know, we've had a discussion before. So, speaking of making the city improved and better, have you thought about the string lights that we mentioned before? Them string lights, I'm trying to tell you.
So we said it last time. We know it's so funny, man. In development, when talking with folks, it's like something as simple as those string lights that we call. I'm pretty sure there's a professional name for them, but we know exactly what we're talking about. That one little thing can shape the perception of an entire district or an entire entertainment district, I guess more so. It's like, oh, they might not have this, but they got those string lights, man. It's a bunch going on.
It'll completely change the aesthetic and make you feel like it's different. Like, so it doesn't even have to be any major things. You don't need like giant skyscrapers and floor to ceiling windows all throughout it. Like, I mean, it could be something simple as string lights or I don't know, different colored like street lights. Like I remember they redid the ones on J. Clyde. They had like this like little purple tinge to them. I was like, that's kind of dope. I kind of like that. So yeah, just small things like that. But
and keeping up with trends. I mean, anybody who travels often, you go to bigger cities, you see what those areas have done to make it more vibrant, and you also hear the feedback of, when I went here, I had the best time. So when you go to those places, when I go to those places, I try to just make a mental note, like, okay, well, this is like the happening area here. How can we incorporate this in Newport news, and keep up with those trends? Because in local government, you need to be able to cater to all demographics, age-wise. And so I think that's where a lot of our opportunity is, between that 18 or probably college. Between college to about 40, there's a real market that I think we could definitely do a lot more work and to tap it into that, because we want people to want to choose Newport News, you know what I mean, to play, not only just to raise a family. I think that was the norm. It's like, you know what, I'll leave, go to a bigger city, but when it's time for me to raise a family or when I'm older, I'll come back to Newport News. And I want to change that mindset for sure. I want Newport News to be a place where, you can literally choose to stay here. You know what I mean? And we could have those things that you would aspire towards in a larger city. We can have that here. We already talked about Sauté. This is a plug. Shout out to Sauté, man. But
yeah, for sure. Shout out to Sauté.
Those kinds of vibes. That's what we can bring. So our peer group will change that narrative, like, oh no, Newport News is a happening place to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
yeah, no, I was saying
foundation, man.
Yeah, I'm
We're
seeing
getting
like
there.
all kinds of different changes. Like they're building up like tech center area. Like they're
Yeah.
building up. I don't know if that's extension for like Jefferson Labs or something. I don't know, but
Yes.
they're building up that area over there. I saw they added that sign on Oyster Point going towards Victory Boulevard. That little LED sign. It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
It's like those small things. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like completely change like the aesthetic of a place. So yeah,
Absolutely.
small things like that, man, definitely make a world of difference in my opinion.
And thank you for mentioning that Jefferson Lab. So there was that was also a part of this year where that cyclical up down. A huge win for Newport News was the Jefferson Lab announcement. We received funding It's going to be between $300 and $500 million to invest in a data facility. And that's the largest
Like data, like literally like data
AI.
storage, like.
Data. I think it's more AI related somehow.
Okay.
The details, don't get me wrong, I'm an accountant. All I know is it's awesome.
No, I got you.
But point is, that is the largest technology investment in Hampton Roads history, and it's right here in Newport News and at Jefferson Lab, and so that was a huge win this year for sure. But shout out J Lab.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, because people don't know that we have a literal particle accelerator in Newport News, like a particle accelerator. Like
That's huge.
you don't see those in many places. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we have one here, like there's a lot in Newport News that a lot of people aren't really, or they just don't really think about the gravity of what it means. Like we've got the particle accelerator with Jefferson Labs and all those smart people over there. We have the shipyard. We have military installations all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like in Hampton and Newport News, like with Fort Eustis and stuff. So I mean, there's a lot here. You know, people don't really, I think, realize the depth of what that means because with those things come, smart people that actually move here because they're going to be working in those jobs, or like you have the shipyard, which is kind of like a financial anchor in the area where it helps stabilize the economy. You know what I mean? Like there's all those things that people don't really take into account.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think no, that's a good point. I think we could do a better job of marketing that. That's where I think the city can come into play and do a much better job. And so if we know the average resident doesn't know everything that goes on in Newport News, how can we reach more people so that way they can tell the story of Newport News? Because that's ultimately word of mouth, different perspectives. That's how the real perception of a city is formed.
Right.
So it's just how can we do a better job of it? But
yeah, that's valid.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, in the first like year that you've done this too, I mean, there's been a lot of challenges as well. So what would you say is the most challenging thing that you had to deal with, and what did you do to overcome that, or at least deal with it?
Yeah, I think I mean the most recent one, unfortunately, we are almost we're either there or we have hit record numbers as far as our homicides in the city. And for that, in our first year assessing what's been going on, but I think that in top priority for next year is definitely public safety.
Yeah.
So the flip side to it though is the media. You know how media always tries to just focus on majority of media focus on the negative aspects of it. And the message that I always want to reiterate is Newport News is not unsafe. Like you were safe in Newport News. There are a lot of variables that go into the various murders that we've had over the span of this year.
Right.
But I think it ultimately boils down to interpersonal conflicts and conflict resolution skills that aren't present. So that is where the focus is for us. How can we help those that are the most affected by those situations, like navigate through that space? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
conflict resolution skills, man. Why is it the first thing like, well, I'm going to kill you,
Right.
But that is definitely the biggest challenge right now. And so we're committed to doing whatever we can to ensure we decrease those homicides and also make sure everyone knows that Newport News is safe.
Yeah, no, that's always been I mean, at least as long as I've been living here, you hear about 757 and people always think negatively about it, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not from 757, you're like, oh, that's, y'all be shooting people down there and stuff like that. I'm like,
Perception again. So it's
right.
like,
Yeah. I think, I mean, a lot of those things, it's not to say that random acts of violence don't happen, because they do. But typically, the things that do happen when it comes to that, those are people that are already involved in that kind of lifestyle that are doing those kinds of things. Like, you're not going to go to city center, go out to eat, and get shot at just because you're there. You know what I'm saying? Not to say it can't happen.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like, the chances of that are extremely small compared to if you are actually involved in that type of a lifestyle and actually doing those things, whether it's gang related, whether it's drug related, whatever the case may be. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's definitely, I wasn't aware that the rate went up. So that's definitely interesting to hear about. And the fact that you are, so passionate about wanting to change that. I mean, that speaks magnitudes to, obviously your characters and what your vision with the city is and the direction you want to take it. So speaking,
I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, speaking of vision, where do you see Newport News in the next, let's just go short term, 5 years? Like, what do you see, like, major things that are changing or things that are going to be implemented or to be implemented that you'd like to see?
Yeah. So we got, I'd love to see a vibrant uptown. Not only being vice mayor, but I also represent uptown. A vibrant uptown. We are in the process of replacing Grissom Library. I don't know how often you went to the library, man.
Grissom Library. You talking about the one right across the street from
Old Courthouse Way?
Yeah, Old Courthouse. Okay, yeah. So that library back there. So are y'all like tearing it down, building it back up, or is it gonna be something completely different?
Yeah, it's gonna be completely different. So
okay.
That will be torn down, I'm sure. And then we're gonna, where the Popeyes is off of Warwick.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
But that Sherwood shopping center where Ferguson used to be back there, used to be a number of things. The city owns that entire strip. So that's going to be developed into mixed use. The new library will go there. It's going to be state of the art, high tech. Yeah. So that way it's front facing of Warwick and you see it. As of right now. Yeah. As of right now, Grissom is in the cut. Heck, if you're not, too familiar with the area, you wouldn't even know it's back there.
Right, yeah.
But the point is, I don't know how often you go over to Norfolk and see the Slover Library, or if you've been over in the Selden Marketplace.
That's the library that's on like the second floor or something like that, or am I thinking something different?
It's like right next to Selden Marketplace. I think it's off of Plume Street. Don't get me lying to you, but state of the art. I mean, probably one of the most high tech libraries in the Commonwealth for sure. And I would love for our library to compete with that. And to reflect a modern 2024 interactive library.
Right.
So, and a lot of our governmental services will also be housed there as well to make it more convenient, because you know what it's like, man, driving all the way from uptown to downtown. It could take 30 plus minutes sometimes. So
all those stoplights, man.
Yeah, how do we divide it up, to make sure everyone has equal access, equal opportunities, that kind of thing. But I'm excited about that Sherwood project coming to fruition, because I truly believe it'll be a catalyst for more development in that Denby shopping area. Another thing is Denby, the Denby Bridge. You know that Denby Bridge right off Denby?
Well, the one they expanded, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
64 will be connecting to that, both east and westbound lanes.
What you mean?
I mean, like the interstate 64
connecting to it.
Yes, there will be on and off ramps at that bridge.
Oh, damn.
So I meet with our regional folks from VDOT just to make sure everything is good to go with that project, and if we need to advocate, I just want to make sure all the funding is there. But as of right now, it's slated to happen. And I think I can
see it actually.
That'd be a game changer, man, for that area. That'd be a game changer.
Yeah. And the bridge, the bridge is wide enough too, because I'm trying to think of J. Clyde, that bridge that goes over J. Clyde that's got the on and off ramps. That, I mean, same thing is I would say probably no, I think the J. Clyde one's a lot larger. But anyway, I can see the vision. I can see the vision as like a little loop. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, I can see the vision though. Okay, interesting.
I think this one wouldn't even be a loop. It'll be like a straight through kind of thing.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? At least that's what the design is. The design that I saw, it is a straight through, not like the loop that you're referring to on G. Clyde.
So it'll be one on, one off.
Okay, so gotcha. you'll get on, I imagine you could go straight and go right back onto 64 both ways. But nevertheless, that is going to be a game changer
Interesting.
for sure for that area.
Another area of access to get off, the interstate early. You don't gotta wait to get all the way up to,
Oh man,
what's it called, Jefferson. You know what I'm saying?
or from Fort Eustis.
Fort Eustis,
Fort Eustis, there's a gap.
Jefferson, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like you either on there or off there.
Yeah,
Like you don't really got another option. So that'd be dope for sure.
That's one thing I'm excited about. We have a new pedestrian plan, bicycle and pedestrian plan that's coming out, making Newport News more pedestrian friendly. That's more walkable places and spaces, more sidewalks, more bike lanes. How can we improve all forms of transportation? I think that's a part of the plan, and I look forward to seeing that come to fruition. I mentioned downtown, but there's always a lot of focus downtown, and there has been over the years. But partnering with the shipyard, partnering with the federal government, a lot of eyes are on downtown right now, and we have a lot of opportunity to bring, or to bridge the private-public partnerships, because we want a very vibrant downtown. I don't know if you've been down there to the Yard District. Any opportunities we have to expand that, we should definitely take full advantage of. So that area can be somewhere where, folks get off work, or even, late night entertainment. You want to go down there and have a good time, because that's every thriving city should have definitely some areas downtown where you can go and feel good about it.
Yeah.
So like the gastro place that's down there, new. I'm not gonna call them a burger spot, but actually I think it is Gastro Burger.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, because it's you wouldn't know it if you didn't know about it. Like if you weren't looking for it, you would miss it. But it's like right, like almost like all the way downtown, like by the council building, right?
Yeah.
It's like right on that street. Yeah, or City Hall, excuse me. Yeah, so it's like right on that street. Yeah, I've been there before. It's pretty good.
How about Coastal?
The brewery.
The brewery. So you got Coastal that's there, and then Ironclad is right there, and the pizza spot. What's the name of it, man? It's gonna drive me bonkers. Benny's Pizza is right next to the
right next to the brewery,
Gastro.
right?
Yep. So it's all three right on that
little strip.
But I think there's so much more opportunity for our Yard District.
Yeah.
Really pouring life into that is something I'd love to see over the next 5 years. But man, we got a lot going on, man, and that's why I just want people to be excited about the direction we're going in.
For sure.
So it's gonna be good, man.
They're hurting for parking over the shipyard too.
Yes. So
they're hurting for that parking, man.
There's been a number of talks in regards to the parking spaces, and what we can do about that, and so we're working on that for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah,
because the quality of life for the sailors and for shipyard employees. I mean, you said I ain't gonna say you.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah, no, I work there, but luckily I work at the Brooks Crossing building. So, yeah. So I'm good. I got my parking spot right in the front. I just walk in. You know what I'm saying? I go to my desk. I'm chilling. So yeah, no, I lucked out, because when I first took the job, they were like, yeah, it's a shipyard. I was like, I don't know, because that parking situation, I'm gonna wake up like 4 a.m. just to get a spot. Yeah. But luckily I was at that building, so yeah. But yeah, and like you said about the nightlife, man. I mean, typically people go to Norfolk, Virginia Beach. Yeah. That's where like the nightlife of the 757, in my opinion, is at. So if we get more places downtown on this side of the water, even in Hampton, I know they got that rooftop bar they opened in Hampton a couple years ago. Yeah. So that one's pretty good vibe.
The hotel that's on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember the name of it right now, but you know what I'm talking
Monroe
about.
Rooftop. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
We're just plugging everybody today.
Yeah. I mean, Fort Monroe's doing a good job too. I mean, they got the Ouzel Finch Brewery. Like, that's really a good vibe too. If you go out there, just want to get a beer or something like that, or just get a nice food truck, hang out. I mean, it's great during the summer and spring. Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, get more things on this side of the water would definitely be great.
And that's ultimately what we need to do. That's what's missing. Never wanted Newport News or Hampton, for that matter, to be a pass-through city. Everyone will either get pass through us to get to Williamsburg to experience that, or you go to Norfolk or go to Virginia Beach to experience what they have to offer. Yeah. We want to be able to draw folks on the peninsula for sure, and be that entertainment destination
Yeah. No, and I think it's kind of getting there. I mean, because Williamsburg, like they got like the outlets. Norfolk, they got Water
got
Street,
outlets
they
too.
got IKEA, they got outlets. You know what I'm saying? Virginia Beach, you got the oceanfront, you got clubs. I mean, whatever it is you're looking for in Virginia Beach, or good restaurants, fancy houses, whatever, right? But now we're starting to develop and build the tech center. We're starting to add more things here that people can do.
Yeah.
So I mean, City Center is an absolute vibe during the Christmas time, because you see the lights out there.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
the big old Christmas tree with
Yeah.
the programmed like lights and stuff like that going all around. So
Did
like
you go
that,
to the tree lighting? Were you out
yeah,
there?
yeah.
Oh.
Well, I don't know lighting. I mean, I've been through City Center a while, so like
Okay,
going like
yes.
doing this thing, yeah. But
Where we have it where we light it up for the first time.
Oh,
There's a
no,
whole
I didn't see
event
that.
around it. I mean, it was great. When you get a
Okay.
chance, check out the recap video that
yeah.
we did. Yeah, it was
Whatever
fun.
happened to Holly Dazzle? Did they still do that?
So, are you specifically talking about the fireworks?
Yeah, yeah.
So we do a form. It's, something Christmas holidays. We do an event, and that's what the tree lighting is.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we can no longer do the fireworks due to, I think, when Ferguson was built. There's a terrace up there. It just became a fire hazard.
Oh, because you don't want like some of the remnants of fallen terrace
Exactly.
lighted on fire. Now you got
that'd be
Ferguson
horrible.
burned down.
Yes.
You don't put all those millions of dollars into the building.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I think it's funny. I brought it up during one of our work sessions. I was like, well, hey, if we don't do the fireworks, what if we do a drone show? Or this is just get creative, because there are a
Right.
lot of folks that miss those fireworks.
Yeah.
And so we're just trying to be creative, and I'm pretty sure our amazing folks at Parks and Rec will be able to come up with something.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. No, that's good to know. Now, what are you looking forward most to in 2024? Like, is it anything? I mean, we talked about infrastructure and things that are coming down the pipeline with that, but is there anything outside of that you're looking forward to?
I think really just continuing to build the foundation, like continuing to make sure we have an efficient product, so that way we could better serve all residents and throughout the city. And we're getting there. We're getting there for sure. We've even in this past year, for the first time ever, we have constituent service representatives. So they have been lifesavers for us, because again, this being part-time, imagine all the emails, the calls, and all that.
Yeah.
And I hate that sometimes I can't get to it until I finish my day job.
Right.
The whole goal is to rapid response. How fast can we respond to citizen needs? And so just continuing to build that foundation. And so I just want to get past that foundation so we can hit the gas.
Valid.
But it's still happening.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking forward to the most, to get past that stage. So
Gotcha.
that way it's, full blown development here, development there,
Right.
services
get
here,
the-
services there.
Yeah, getting the pieces in line and getting everything in motion that you need to get in motion to make those moves to build things up. Yeah, because obviously that takes time, planning, money. There's a lot of things that go into it. So yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I mean, just like the Sherwood development that we were talking about, that's $90 million.
yeah, I'm not
That
surprised.
just come out.
I'm not surprised. But I mean, and it's gonna enrich the community. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is a good investment, because that 90 million is getting put into it now. I feel like it's gonna be made 2-3-fold over the course of its life, because
sure.
of people renting books, whatever the case may be, late fees. I mean, all that stuff that comes with it. I'm sure there's gonna be more than just that too. So
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of ways to make money. And I know like a big thing now is like the electric cars and like moving towards that type of infrastructure. So with that, new Sherwood library is going to be built. I don't want to call it Sherwood Library, but the library is going to be
Sherwood development. So like library.
yeah. So new library is going to be built there, right?
Yes.
Would they incorporate like charging stations there? I mean, if it's state of the art, I'm assuming they would probably make that state of the art as well, with the parking and having electric charging, so that way people can like, oh, I'm gonna charge up, and well, I'm here at the library, might as well go read a book, or I don't know, print
I
paper
get
off
where
or
you're
something.
going.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I feel like there's a lot of opportunity there to help bring revenue there as well, outside of just a library.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, almost anything you develop, I imagine, will have to have a charging station. Just the way the country is moving, or the world is really moving towards electric vehicles.
Right.
The point is, it'll be modern.
Yeah.
It would.
It's gonna be nice.
Yes, it's going. Long story short, it's going to be very nice. I'm looking forward to seeing those designs and being able to bring that to fruition. And so, like I said, what I'm most excited about is what it can do for Uptown and for that shopping area, because it'll serve as a catalyst for more development. It'll be easier to sell empty buildings, empty lots. Saying like, oh, well, look at what we got going on over here. We got Sherwood's development that's coming to life, and then we got 64 that's going to connect to the Denby Bridge. So I'm looking forward to it, man. And then even Lee Hall, there's some things. I don't know how often you go up to Lee Hall,
man.
I feel like and Lee Hall has been one of those forgotten communities.
It really has,
yeah. And so I'm gonna end up probably, forming some kind of Lee Hall citizen group, because I want them to be in the know of everything that goes on and get the feedback, because there's so much opportunity up there. Like, I don't know if you go like Richmond's Carytown or something. I don't know.
Carytown is nice, man.
So Lee Hall could be a small village concept,
That's what I'm trying to think of, though, because they had like that area over there with the Dollar General and that Food Line that used to be back there. I don't know if that's still Food Line or Dollar General. I have no idea.
They don't even have a grocery store up there, and that's what
really.
So that's why it's been something that's been on my radar for a long time. But you try to talk to some of these corporations, and they're only looking at it from metrics on paper,
right? Like how much money?
Excuse me, which I get. You're in business. I know that's something that you're going to look at. You're going to do a market analysis, and the feedback that we keep getting is, it's not conducive for a grocery store to be there. But there are other innovative new grocery store chains that are rising up, that you could take those kinds of opportunities on, and that's what I want us to tap into. I don't want us to just, Food Line said no, so we're done, or Kroger said no. Like, there are other options, innovative options that are out there, and so I just want to make sure everything is on the table. But
I feel like a Costco would be dope up there.
Costco,
because you could take that whole complex.
You gonna replace the Costco that we got?
I wouldn't even replace it. I was just add another one, man, because that one gets packed all the time. Like the old people, no offense to old people, they be there like an hour before it opens. I'm like, come on, man. I'm just trying to get in and out, and y'all got this line like y'all. I'm telling you, they're parked out there waiting. As soon as those doors open, they flooding the doors. I'm like, man, this is crazy. But yeah, I mean, if there's another Costco, I feel like that'd be pretty dope too.
Something. The point is, we know that Lee Hall has been neglected for a while. And so it's about making sure they're included, and that's the whole purpose, of representing Uptown as well. Like, I'm going to do everything within my power to make sure that we are a part of all the discussions for development, getting significant wins in the CIP, which is the Capital Improvement Plan.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the rest of my colleagues on council, they also realize, the neglect of Lee Hall, and really just the lack of investment over the years into Uptown. And so with everyone being on board, I feel good about what we can do. So I'm excited.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because the only thing I could think of at Lee Hall in that area, the Pepsi plant, the fire department station they got over there, Lee Hall, the school. And then like there's that old mechanic shop that's over there next to that pizza shop. I don't know if it's a Domino's still or if it's something else. And then they got like the residential neighborhoods over there. And then what used to be Dollar General and Food Line, but those are gone now. So that's literally all I know about Lee Hall. And then that Lee Hall Manor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But after that,
a lot of land right there.
There's a lot of land right there. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna keep that for private property. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with Lee Hall Manor. I remember I went there on a field trip like when I was in elementary school. Once upon a time.
Never been back, have you?
No reason to go back.
There's no reason. So I would love for us to look into that for that very reason. Another thing that is also coming uptown is not necessarily Lee Hall, but you know where Enview is. You know where that Naval Weapons Station, that 7-Eleven, right there across from that 7-Eleven, open field.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
where that old
The
old
plantation,
battle station, yeah, the plantation
Enview
style house.
Plantation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, got you. Okay, that's Envy.
So that is going to be high end homes. I think the starting price is like, I don't know. Don't quote me on this. Maybe $500,000 and up.
They're doing like townhouses. Or they're doing like
Half a
single
million and
family.
up. They're gonna do a lot.
I'm telling
Single
you,
family
I see
houses.
some crazy townhouses like in not Richmond, but what's the one right
Northern
next to
Virginia
Richmond?
or like Henrico.
Henrico. They got the I kid you not, they got like $800,000, $900,000 townhouses.
Wow.
But they're like the 3-floor ones. They're like 2,500 square feet to 3,000 square feet. The top floor, it's got like floor to ceiling windows. You open them all the way up and it goes up to the balcony and stuff like that. You can see like all the scenery and stuff. So they are nice, but I don't know. So I wouldn't be surprised if some townhouses was that price.
Be. I remember when we got we looked at the presentation, and I recall a lot of single family homes. But nevertheless, it also goes back to the big J Lab announcement.
Yeah.
That's going to bring jobs here to Newport News, PhD level jobs.
Just gonna bring people.
Yeah, and so one criticism that we've heard for a while now is that Newport News doesn't have the high end homes for the executives. Those high income earners, they end up migrating towards Williamsburg, Yorktown, Poquoson, those kinds of areas. And again, going back to Newport News being a place where you could do it all. We need to be able to house those individuals as well.
Right.
And so InView is an opportunity for that. And then maybe when that happens, it'll be easier to speak to whether it is a grocery store chain or whoever wants to invest in Lee Hall. It'll make it easier saying like, hey, well, right down the street you got this new development here, and then if
they can get a Whole Foods at that point.
So
you got the $500,000 house, you gotta get a Whole Foods.
You never know, and I think it's like you need something to be a catalyst. People don't want to be the guinea pig. Yeah, people don't want to jump into something like, oh, I'll be the first one to jump out there. And so when you actually get something good, you just latch on to it and build off of it. So I'm excited about what's coming.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that, I don't know, maybe this is weird, but the Whole Foods that we have here, man, I've seen some old Whole Foods and they nice, man. I feel a little slighted, not gonna lie, because our Whole Foods is just one floor. Like I seen a Whole Foods, they got 2 floors. They had like they had a dining facility upstairs. This was in where were we at?
Northern Virginia, Maryland. Were you in Virginia?
That's a good question. I want to say it was Nova area.
Nova? Okay.
So, yeah, so naturally it's going to be nicer. But yeah, like I'm talking, it had 2 floors. Like they had all kinds of aisles. Like I was like, damn, I ain't seen no Whole Foods like this before.
I'm sorry, man. You feel slighted, man.
Nah, it's all good. I mean, I still got some good options at the Whole Foods. So I'm not even mad about it. But yeah.
Tech Center has come a long way too. Yeah.
Who do I gotta talk to get another Cafe Rio, man?
Cafe Rio? You want another one?
I was heartbroken, man. They left. I was like, damn. 'Cause I used to go there every Monday because they had 50% off, like 50 for the military.
Oh wow!
So I go there every Monday and get my 50% off. You know what I'm saying? But hey, y'all want something? It's on me. You know what I'm saying? It's 50% off.
You balling now,
but hey, I get 2 for 1 basically. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, man, like.
I don't know, man. Maybe reach out to them, see if they want to, or
y'all want to try again.
If they franchise. Listen, man. Whatever happened before, we can work on that. But I don't know, man.
I got you.
I'll keep that in mind, though.
Okay, I got you. But yeah, like, how does that work though? Like with developments, like we mentioned the InView plantation house or whatever that's out there. That land, like, is that land owned by them? And then if it is owned by them, how does that work as far as like development? Do you pitch it to them like, hey, like we want to put a development here, we'll pay you X amount of money for your land, so that way we can start developing? Like what does that look like logistically?
So it all really depends on what the land is zoned for. I mean, you can ultimately request for the zoning to change, or we could, as council, we could change the zoning of it. But that is like the starting block. So that way, when you go, you're trying to recruit businesses to come here. Like, hey, we have this parcel. We have really the Economic Development Authority is what we have, that I would always refer to anyone who's trying to get involved, or as far as business wise, or if you just want to learn a little bit more about the business. metrics and demographics in Newport News, the EDA is a great place to start.
Okay. That's Economic Development Authority.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And so a lot of our economic opportunities are funneled or filtered through them. And then we also have a board, an EDA board. So we're trying to find ways to better collaborate with them to make sure we are all aligned in what the vision for Newport News is and what it is going to look like ultimately once we all get on the same page. So the EDA is a good resource for sure.
Awesome. No, for sure.
If you want that Cafe Rio, man, go.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to
go
talk
holler
to
at the
them,
EDA.
Man.
Yeah,
I have to talk to them like, hey man, what can we do to get a Cafe Rio? Like I can find a lot of land. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of real estate going up towards downtown. There's just I'm going on a tangent, but there's a lot of real estate going towards downtown that's just ran down, vacant.
Yeah.
Nobody's using it for anything. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of land that could be reclaimed. I feel like because I don't know if the people that own that building on that land or even do anything with it. You know, they just have the property sitting there. Like I'm assuming like you're either still paying rent on it or you own it outright and you just aren't doing anything with it.
Oh, for sure. They're still paying the taxes on it. And because if they're not, then they become delinquent on the taxes, then the city can ultimately take it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
I thought that cause I had that happen before. I didn't pay my property taxes just because I was being hard headed. I was like, nah, I ain't paying y'all. You know what I'm saying? And then
oh wow,
they garnished my wages.
No government.
No, it wasn't even about that, man. It was just like, why am I paying for something that I own outright? Like I paid it off. Like why am I having to pay property tax on a vehicle I own outright? But that's the Commonwealth thing. But they ended up garnishing my wages. They didn't like put out a repossession for it. They just garnished wages. Like we're gonna get our money. So
I'm sorry, man. You gotta pay your taxes.
Yeah. Nah, thanks. But it is what it is. But that was young me. So yeah, I learned my lesson. But yeah, I feel like they garnish your wages before they take it, or maybe it's just like a 2-3 strike you out thing. Like we'll garnish your wages 3 times. If we get to the third time, then we'll repossess it or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm not fully versed on the process. Yeah. But I do know that is a thing for sure. Mm-hmm. So the point is, a lot of the vacant parcels, vacant buildings, a lot of them are just they are up to date on their taxes. So it's just a matter of waiting. Someone's waiting for the redevelopment to come down potentially.
That's holding out because they're gonna get the buyout. Like be like, hey, we want to buy this land.
I know.
So
I imagine that's a reason. I imagine that's a reason for sure. Mm-hmm. But the EDA, the Economic Development Authority I was talking about. Yeah. We also allocate funds for them to purchase parcels. So that way, hey, we'll buy it, we'll hold on to it until we come up with a solid plan to develop it. That is another process that we've taken to try and take back a lot of the blight.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. No, that's good to know. You mentioned accessibility earlier, like midtown accessibility, uptown accessibility. What can the citizens do to get involved to help, whether it be from a political standpoint, an economic standpoint? Like, what do you see the citizens of Newport News doing to help towards that bigger goal of building up Newport News?
For sure. I think, number one, follow whoever your representative is on social media. I think that's the easiest. Everyone has, well, I'm not going to say everybody, but I imagine 99.9%.
Yeah, gotta get with the times.
Exactly. Of people have a social media account, so I say start there because we're constantly pumping out information regarding the city. So I think start there. Then the next piece would be watching the council meetings. See how it operates. We just this year. We started televising our work session. So this is the first time that's ever happened. But
yeah, I remember talking to Phil about that.
Yeah, we believe in transparency, full transparency. We want you to see it all. We want you to know what's going on, be informed, be engaged. And then once you get kind of a feel for how things are going, volunteer. We have different boards and commissions in which in this upcoming year, we're going to revamp significantly because we want to be able to recruit good people. Yeah. And retain good people that get on the boards, and we don't want anyone to feel burnt out. We want to make sure we have the right citizens on there, making sure they're maximizing citizen benefits, man, in all facets. So looking forward to that. Definitely but get involved however you can. You know, everybody's capacities are different,
Right.
but definitely get involved one way or another. That's the only way.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, if you want change, oftentimes you have to be that change that you want, you know? So, I mean, whether that's, you know, showing up for volunteer events like you mentioned, or simply, you know, I don't know, just voting, you know? I mean, those are
Voting,
things
yeah.
that are important, you know, because that can alter the trajectory of the city, you know, depending on who the individual is running, in all those facets. Do you feel like there's like God, I would go on YouTube because we had the Senate race recently, within the past few months, and I would always see spirit campaign videos. It's like, oh, like how do you feel like this person supports this?
This was bad. This is probably the worst at least I've experienced in
Yeah.
my adult life. Yeah, it was pretty rough, man. But that's why at the local level, I appreciated not being partisan.
Yeah.
Because at a local level, everyone should care about public safety, despite what party you quote unquote identify with.
Right.
Public safety, a good education system, economic development opportunities, job creation or job opportunities.
Right.
Like those transcend party lines at the local level, and so that's why the local stuff is in my opinion much more important.
Right.
Because it also impacts us immediately.
Versus like over time. Yeah.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
saying it's not important from at the state or federal level, because it is important, but
Right.
that
Especially
local,
like where you live, you want to make sure that that's
absolutely. Like, what if
to
the
your standard or what you want. You know?
trash collection? What if they didn't come get your trash?
They didn't. I was tight.
Well, no. All right, so this is a bad example because everything is one day delayed because of the holidays. Is that?
Nah. So the biggest
I'm sorry,
the biggest
yeah.
L you could take as an adult is Mr. Trash Day, man. So I did not expect them to come out the day after because I was like, okay, they probably, you know, give them the day after or something
Yes,
like that.
yeah.
And
That's
I hear
funny.
the truck up the street. I was like, oh man, let me go bring my stuff out, right? So I take my stuff out, I take my recycling, I'll take my trash out. And I come out later and it's still there. I was like, I miss it. Like, like I was on the other side. Like, so yeah, no, it is.
That's
what
a
it
good
is.
example though, because I posted on my social media the new schedule, you know, and just if people had access, you know, if everyone knew what that new schedule was going to be. If you don't know, you're not going to know.
Right.
But that's another way to look at during the holidays. If it's not picked up, then the schedule has been adjusted, and 10 times out of 10, that new schedule has been posted on some social media. Follow the city page. You know, the city page is definitely going to let you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
I gotta follow the city page. I don't think about it. It was just City of Newport News
Yeah.
on Instagram or something.
Every City of Newport News on IG, Facebook, Twitter. I think we even have
Don't say TikTok.
TikTok.
For real?
Yeah, I don't even have a TikTok.
That's crazy.
Excuse me. I don't even have. That's another thing I've been proud of is the social media presence from our comms department. You know, keeping up with the times, and it's the easiest way to reach
The younger demographic.
not even just younger demographic, to reach the majority of people, because everyone has a phone. Majority of people has a phone. Majority of people have social media, and it's instant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the net is much larger if you have a strong social media presence, and so that's why coming on, one of the things that I campaigned on was rebranding Newport News. And that falls into that. We got to be able to reach people. We can't just expect them to come to us. You got boots to the ground. Go meet people where they are. So
Fair enough.
that's been happening. Yeah. I feel good. I feel good about the direction we're going in. Yeah.
So will we possibly see a mayor, vice mayor TikTok dance or?
I highly doubt the mayor. I highly doubt the mayor might do a dance. But
do a pull-up challenge with you.
there you go. I mean, he'll do that for sure.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe mayor, vice mayor will do something. But that's my guy. Yeah.
No, I'm just messing around. But and I was gonna ask you where people can reach you, but I mean, because we're talking about social media and all that stuff. So where can people find you at, or best get in contact with you?
For sure. So it's Curtis Bethany, the number 3. That's my handle on Twitter, Instagram. I mean, if you just search Curtis Bethany.
I'm glad you didn't give in and call the X, man. I'm glad you're calling it Twitter still.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, see,
No, you're good. No, nobody calls it X. All right, we all call it Twitter.
it's gonna
so
take
don't even worry
a
about
while. I mean, Elon, I'm sorry, but nevertheless,
It'll be all right.
it's Twitter to all of us right now.
Yeah.
So maybe one day.
I think-
I don't have a TikTok though, so maybe
I got you.
I might get one. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's
Do you have
interesting.
one?
I do have one.
Okay.
Only because that's where everything is shifting towards. Because I do my business on the side, so obviously I got a TikTok page for that. I got to make short form content because that's the thing to do now. So yeah. But yeah, man.
More power to you, man.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
pain.
trying to keep up.
I'm trying to keep up. So that makes two of us. But yeah, man. Do you got anything to add on closing note or anything that you want to touch on that we didn't?
No, I feel good, man. One, I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Absolutely appreciate you.
It's always a good time for me to be over here. I always tell you I love this space.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
I think it's also incredible to know you are also a Wolverine.
Yeah, absolutely.
From the District 2. So it's just warms my heart for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else than a fellow
likewise.
Wolverine. Yes,
Absolutely, man, for sure.
So respect to you, man. Yeah,
Absolutely. Same to you. No, I appreciate you. You know, you're doing great things. You know, keep doing the great things you're doing. I mean, year
Respect,
one down, year two is going to be even better. I can already see it. So,
absolutely. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Yeah.
no, for sure. Anything else, man?
No, I'll be back next year. I'll let you
sure.
know how it goes.
All right. Well, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and stay tuned. That's been Curtis, and that has been me. This has been 75 Junction. We appreciate y'all very much. We'll see y'all next time. 75 Junction out.
Out.